Um, when you're ready, we're good to go.
Sweet.
All right. Okay. Welcome to SBS Filipino. I'm Mark Liabres, and today I'll be talking sports with Matt Srama, recently retired Gold Coast Titans player. Um, Mabuhay. Kamusta ka, Matt?
Musa, thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Oh, no, thank you. So I interviewed rugby league's Nomad and your older Pinoy brother Luke recently. But could you refresh our memories to where in the Philippines is your family located and which side is Filipino?
So my mother's side's Filipino. My father's from a Polish heritage. So my mother's side is Filipino, and I'm certain she had family in Boracay, which was great growing up. My grandparents, Lula and Lula, they used to live on Station 1, I think it might have been, on
Right.
Boracay Island, which is unreal. And as I got older, I realised, man, it was such a good experience going there, through my school holidays growing up. But unfortunately, they've passed away, and obviously Boracay has gone on to bigger and better things in terms of development. So it would have still been good if they had their little hut there, which was great. And we also got some family in Paranaque in Manila, I think
Yep.
that little town is. So it's really good to see all them, and there's a few scattered in Makati, and as you know, the Filipinos are scattered everywhere. So it's always good to go see them.
Yeah. So you are the seventh Filipino heritage athlete to play professional rugby league. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, awesome. Like it's such a privilege, especially the Philippines being such a, not really in terms of rugby and contact sport. It's not really well known. A lot of Filipinos are quite small or short in stature, so we're not really made for sports like rugby league. So to get to the pinnacle of rugby league is such an honour, and I'm really proud that I can inspire other Filipino kids who play rugby league as well. So it's a great feeling. I'm really humbled that I got to the NRL, and being of a Filipino descent.
Yeah, I think every Filipino that's playing rugby league knows your name. On that, what are the challenges you face being Filipino or Asian in rugby league growing up?
Yeah, probably as I said before, probably obviously Filipinos aren't the biggest breed going around. Where I grew up, a lot of Islander kids, Polynesian backgrounds, New Zealand backgrounds, and you get like the little skinny Filipino kids coming up against them. It is always harder, growing up. But in saying that, I found most Filipinos are so rich in heart and determination, and that comes from being smaller, I guess, and that tenacity.
Oh,
So
yep.
you see it in with all Filipinos in all sport. They're just so tenacious. So I think it must be in the blood. And I guess me and my brother, we sort of had good battles growing up, and just having that always fight in us, always being smaller than everyone, and not as big, but always having a lot of heart. And I think Filipinos across the board, showcase that.
Oh, yep. I'd actually, yeah, agree with you. So, on speaking of which, what do you think are the best athletic qualities Filipinos possess in any sport?
Yeah, obviously, definitely the tenacity and the drive, and sort of you see it not even away from sport. Filipinos, they can get aggressive sometimes. If you tick them off the wrong way. So Filipinos just have that mentality to
Yeah.
switch at the right time. A lot of good Filipino boxers.
Yep.
I guess that comes into that as well. They got that tenacity and that fire in the belly, but also so very calm and humble on the outside. So I think, and also speed. I find a lot of Filipinos are really really quick, and even some of the bigger ones, they got speed and they're strong. So it all comes back to the attitude. I think attitude's a big one for the Philippines. They're always pulling above their weight, so to speak.
No, I have to agree with you there. For the obvious reasons. Now you debuted for the NRL Gold Coast Titans in 2011, and in 65 appearances for the club, you scored 7 tries and played under coach John Cartwright and league legends like Matt Rogers and Scotty Prince. Yeah, tell us about your debut game and when did you start believing you were a first grade NRL player?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, so my debut game was back in 2011. So I just turned 20 years old, and I was coming through the they called it the Toyota Cup. It was the under 20s feeder towards the NRL. So you had to be under 20 years of age to play in that competition. So I had a really good start to the year. And Nathan Friend, who was first line hooker, actually got injured. So I impressed them during trials and first start of the year, and I got my crack, and it happened to be at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, which is where I'm actually born and bred. So it was really good to have my family there. My older brother Luke was there as well. So it's definitely a moment I'll never forget. We lost the game, unfortunately, to the Bulldogs, but I ended up getting man of the match for the Titans, and I sort of thought to myself,
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
I've got what it takes. I know I've got that inner confidence to make it as an athlete, and I just sort of knuckled down that year and ended up playing pretty much every game from then on in, and had a really good run and sort of solidified myself in the NRL. And I really loved every moment of it. And I guess sort of midway through 2011, I thought I can make a real crack at this as a career, playing football full time in the NRL. Yeah.
So pre-season under your belt, and mid-year of 2011, that's when you really started thinking, okay, yeah, I'm with the big boys now.
Yeah, well, that's it. I was still quite small and very young, and obviously got targeted a lot of footy. But it's just, as I said, back to the Filipino thing. It's something I was used to growing up. I was always the smallest kid on the field, so just having that aggression and tenacity as well. And I won a few man of the matches, on Channel 9 and Fox Sports, winning man of the man. I just thought, yeah, this is, if you set your mind to something, you can achieve it. So, whereas before playing under 20s, I probably thought there was no chance, I'd play NRL this year and win man of the matches and whatnot. So, it just goes to show, if you have belief, you can achieve a lot.
Yeah, that's I hear that a lot. Like it's so far from their thoughts. Just being grateful to play one NRL game. I know a few guys. Dennis Gordon. Who we all had to try to have a crack at NRL. So yeah, winning man of the match is probably I guess a great achievement for you. So
yeah,
who was your favourite NRL player or athlete growing up, and why?
Obviously, definitely Craig Wing, Filipino. He was probably the most mainstream Filipino to play in the NRL. So even though he was from New South Wales, I'm a Queenslander through and through. I really loved the way he played.
Yep.
Again, same thing, Filipino. He just had that urge and that aggression, and he was pretty small, but he always played well above his weight. And it was just awesome seeing someone of Filipino heritage playing.
Yep.
In the NRL, you don't even see really any Asian background at all. So to see him on the big stage sort of inspired me, and obviously him. And then for Queensland, I really admire Jonathan Thurston just because of the competitive nature of the player he is.
Yep.
Never gives up, and it shows. When they won the grand final and things like that, he's such a good leader. So guys like that, I really respect the guys who are a lot smaller as well. Because I know what beating you get on your body throughout your career. So for them to play for their country, I respect those two guys probably the most.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel or mean when you say, the little guys, because I played halfback myself, and I found like the ones that I really take notice are halfbacks. I don't pay attention to front rowers because I just don't know what their mindset is like, So
yeah, exactly right.
So, but did you play 5'8"? I hear you, Luke, telling me that you played 5'8" growing up.
Yeah, so basically all my juniors I played 5'8", which I look back now was great because it developed a lot of ball skills.
Yep.
Learning the pass both ways, obviously kicking, catching, always having your hands on the ball and being involved. I look back and really, thankful that I got to play in the halves. I played a little bit of lock as well, sort of like a roaming lock, could ball play in that as well. But as the years got older, the kids started getting bigger, so I sort of made my way out of the back row and stuck to the halves and came to the Titans as a 5'8" actually, and got moved to hooker and played pretty much every NRL game at hooker. So
Yep.
It's been an interesting journey.
It certainly has. Do you have a favourite or memorable NRL game? Do you remember? It doesn't have to necessarily be yours.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Well, personally, obviously, my debut in Brisbane just happened to be in Brisbane with family, and it was a double header before a Broncos game. So it was a big stadium and big crowd. So that one will always stick with me. First try, things like that. But probably as a fan and as a spectacle, watching in probably the Cowboys grand final versus the Broncos.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, just to see two Queensland teams get there and then to put on a show like that was absolutely unreal. And, just the drama of it, and then JT missing the kick, go Golden Point, Ben Hunt drops it, kick the fit. It was just insane. I was actually watching that one in Seminyak Square in Bali.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll always remember that. So yeah, it was a good experience.
What about the Sharkies last year?
Yeah, mate. It's a good story. I see you're proud with your hat on, but
well, we're playing the Titans this week, so that's what I'm doing.
Me too. Yeah, mate. Honestly, that's great for the club. I was going for them all the way. I really admire the Melbourne Storm, but to see the Sharkies pull it off, after all those years, and it's good for the club. Awesome. So let's see if they back it up, this year.
It's one of those hard things to do, but that's what we're aiming to do. Anyway, but this interview is about you and the Philippines. So on that, now you toured Philippines and Thailand in 2003 to play in a historical match, the very first full international game held in Asia. What is your proudest moment representing the Philippines, and what is your fondest memory of that tour with the Philippine Tamarails?
Oh, definitely. Away from NRL, just rugby league in general, that'd be up there with probably the best experience I've had. Just in life experience, really.
Yep.
If you were to tell me, 5 years ago, I'd be playing for the Philippines in rugby league. You know what I mean? It's not real.
Yep.
So for that to actually come about, and then to actually form a pretty decent team, and to go tour together, we train together, and also to have my brother Luke. We never got to play together ever, so that was the first time we ever got to play. It was definitely one of the best experiences of my life. And even though we beat Thailand pretty comfortably, but to even Thailand putting a team out there and playing in Bangkok, and it was just an unreal experience. And probably my highlight was obviously to play alongside my brother.
Yep.
We played against each other growing up in the backyard every day. So it's actually experience, because he's a lot older than me, so to actually experience a game side by side was a great experience. And definitely that, and just the whole camaraderie of I've got friends for life from that team. And even though there are a few of us played NRL, a few of them from local park footy in New South Wales, didn't matter. We were all sort of the same background, and no one was better than anyone. We were all on the same page. So that was a great experience. I'll always remember that.
Yeah, that's awesome. You don't have a favourite moment though on tour,
Favourite moment? Oh, mate, we went out after the win on what's the road there? Bangla Road, is it, or something? I forget. No, not Bangla. Kaisan. No.
Is this in Thailand or Manila?
Yeah, in Bangkok.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
no.
Yeah, that was a fun time with all the guys, and we had a good win. And probably the best moment was obviously the camp itself, like training. We were training in the middle of Thailand, and like rice fields to the right, and just humid, like crazy heat, sweating, and just in the middle of the day. And you just sort of look back and realise, man, we're training in the middle of like a rice field in Thailand right now. Like, how cool is this? So, just moments like that. And
Definitely.
You know what I mean? It's not every day you get to do things like that.
Well, you can sort of relate it to the first Australian tour, or the Kangaroo side that went to England, for the very first time. So, I'm sort of happy that you've sort of experienced that.
Yeah, no, it's a great experience.
Yeah, so you mentioned you're the younger brother of Luke, who was the captain of Philippine Tamarails, and it's like the first time you played together in the same team, which sort of makes you what now, mid-20s, if you're
Yeah,
your
I'm
younger brother.
26 now,
Yeah,
yeah.
so tell me, why did you retire such an early age? Yeah, Matt said, yeah, just gives a
Yeah,
heads up.
yeah, mate. Yeah, it was a tough decision, but I look back now and reflect. It definitely was the right decision. So, look, I've had 9 operations, and sort of these were all within sort of 4 years. So I was more back to back to back of injuries, and always had the drive to keep going and that. And then my knee injury, which I've never injured my knee before. It's probably the only part of my body I've never had surgery on, and I injured my knee and. Yeah, did all the rehab and was set to, play again the next year. But then had a meeting with the surgeon, and he sort of said, "Look, it's not in the best state. You're probably better off looking at retiring." So I got told to retire a few years before, probably 3 years before that, and I kept playing NRL and things. But this second time around, saying, "Mate, you need to really consider retiring." And my knee was struggling a bit in terms of running and gaining movement and.
Yep.
Sort of, it was a really tough call, but definitely the right one. Footy's not everything in life, and I'm happy now I get to start, my business life at an early age, which is a
Yep.
blessing. So, yeah, I was really happy with what I achieved. Obviously, you can see it as a setback, but I see it as, I'm really grateful that I got to play NRL, even if it was for, it ended not on my terms, but as I said, I'm really grateful that I even got to play one NRL, let alone 60
65,
plus
yeah.
games, 65 games. So, yeah, everything happens for a reason, mate, and that's why it's kicked me onto my next journey. So it's good.
Do you have any more involvements or any involvements with rugby league, even at a grassroots level?
Yeah, well, I'm looking. I got asked to coach a few teams this year, but I've put it on hold just to sort of. It's a big adjustment from
Yep.
full-time rugby league to the full-time business
Yep.
life now. So once I get my business stuff down pat, I'm definitely keen to get into coaching. I love coaching. I love analysing the game. I love, I'm a bit of a nerd for footy, so I'd love to get into coaching for sure, especially at that grassroots level, like inspiring kids and,
Yep.
make them better athletes and better footy players and better men.
So on that note, what are you doing with yourself these days after NRL, your
Yeah,
NRL
yes.
career?
Yeah, so during my NRL career, I was always, with my money and that, I always invested it in property and really love sort of real estate and everything to do with property and just had a real passion for it. So I actually did my real estate license while playing NRL. So that was with no intention of heading into that industry. And then obviously when I made the choice to retire, the guys at Palm Beach, McGrath estate agents in Palm
Oh,
Beach,
right.
offered me a job, and I took it with both hands. It's a great opportunity. I live in Palm Beach. I breathe it, so I love this area. And yeah, so now I'm working as a residential sales agent in Palm Beach here on the Gold Coast. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah, as I said, it's what seemed like a devastating moment. It's actually turned into a great moment that's led me into my next chapter. So yeah, really grateful.
Well, what do you say to potential clients who's watching this video?
Yeah. Oh, mate, the Palm Beach market's hot at the moment. It's crazy. Yeah. It's a bit. We're still not up to Sydney standard yet, but
Well, that's a good
yeah,
thing
we're
though. The
definitely.
prices are unaffordable here,
The
so.
prices are unaffordable. Exactly right. So they're still affordable, but yeah, mate, it's a great location. Any sort of beach location's hot at the moment on the Gold Coast. So yeah, it's good times.
Yep. Well, I can tell you're doing well because you got a very stylish bedroom. So.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I'm a bit OCD clean. I think that comes from my philo mum.
Yeah.
She's on that SKYPE every day growing up, and she used to make my bed every day. So this is the norm for me.
Okay. Well, look. Just before you go, I've got to ask all my guests these following questions. So I hope you can sort of deliver.
Okay.
What
Right.
advice could you give any Filipino who's thinking of becoming a professional athlete?
Oh, definitely to stay persistent, have fun with it, never never do it just because. Do it because you enjoy it. Because I always had the same. You know, if you enjoy it, you don't work at all. So it's more the love of it, and always keep learning and becoming better. So watch who's doing it better and learn off them, and watch the NRL players and see what they're doing, and try and strive to be better. Don't always think it happens overnight, because it doesn't. It takes time and persistence and always hard work. And just always be a good person first, and then an athlete second. So that's probably the main thing. Always be a good person first.
Great advice. Probably John Cartwright sort of helped you with that, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, he was an absolute legend of a person. Yeah. So, it's one of those things that athletes sometimes forget. You're only an athlete. You're in the profile as an athlete, but at the end of the day, when that's gone, you want to be remembered as a person. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, you toured Thailand, played the first international game. You ran out with all, apart from Luke, but you ran out with the other brothers. Could you sing us a song or a verse of the national anthem?
Oh, oh man, you put me on the spot there. I'll have to jump on Google quickly. Mate, to be honest, it surprised me. A lot of the boys knew it off by heart, but I couldn't. I got it. I had it at the time, but I couldn't.
That's okay, mate. That's all right. I've put you on the spot on purpose.
My Tagalog is awful. I got nothing.
All right. 3 persons, past or present, who you would like to have dinner with?
Yeah. Definitely Manny Pacquiao. He's as a sports person. He's Filipino. I loved him. Not just because he's Filipino. Same thing. He's such a tenacious in the ring. He's such a good athlete. So definitely him. John McGrath would be good. He's the one who started McGrath Estate Agent. He's got a great business mindset on his shoulder. So I'd love to learn off him. And I don't know who else. Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right. Yeah, right.
Just to see what he's up to, I guess.
Well, that'd be an interesting dinner, and it's a contrast to Luke's answers. He said, he said family.
Family's just expected to be there, I guess. So.
Okay. Well, at this dinner, you have to serve one Filipino dish. What would it be?
Oh, sinigang soup.
Oh, nice.
My favourite. Like, Mum cooks the best sinigang with. So Mum would have to be there to cook it, because I can't cook it, but Mum cooks the best filet food. Sinigang. She uses like the oxtail in it.
Yep.
And that's definitely that, and like a Calgary affrittata type dish as well. She makes good spring rolls and pancit. Oh, just
everything.
Be a feast.
Okay.
Be a feast.
A Filipino dish dinner.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, on that note, what's your favourite Filipino word?
Kumusta.
Oh, okay, cool.
Salamat.
Oh, that's nice. Your brother Luke put in guapo or pogi.
Guapo, yeah.
He must think of that himself.
That means cute?
Yeah.
Cute. Yeah, guapo. Mate, I was always called that growing up, not him.
Yeah. The Srama brothers. Special breed. Okay, lastly, what's your go-to karaoke song? Because I know we all love a good sing-along.
Oh, go-to karaoke. I have no idea. Probably Cruising. It's called Cruising by Huey Lewis.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
An oldie.
It's an old. I don't know why my partner got me onto that one. Yep. She's a bit of a singer, so but no good at singing at all. Filipinos can sing, but definitely I didn't get that. Mum didn't get it, so
I can't, and I don't think any rugby league player can either. So
but go to the Philippines and
I know.
When you go to shopping malls, they're on the karaoke machines, just having a dig, and they're unreal, so good. So
All right. Well, Matt, I mean, it's been a pleasure and an honour. You're one of the biggest guests I've sort of had to interview. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and all the best for your future. And hope to speak to you soon.
No worries, Mark.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, no worries at all. I really appreciate you guys having me on, and I really appreciate it.
Good luck. See ya.
No worries. See you, mate.
Bye.